Whether you're cleaning up a car to sell or just really like the car and want to make it look its absolute best, detailing under the engine bay is an often forgotten part of the whole process of cleaning your car. So today I'm going to take this 2001 Hyundai's engine bay. It's only a 40,000 mile car, but in 19 years it's never had a clean under the bonnet. So I'm going to go through nearly 2 decades of dirt and make it look like new again using Dual Ultra products. Before we begin, there are a couple of things we need to do. First of all, either disconnect or completely remove the battery so there's no risk of shorting anything out with water. In this case, I'm going to take it all the way out so I can clean the battery tray. Second, any delicate electrical parts, such as the alternator, HT leads or distributor, should be covered over with a plastic bag so you don't get water into those delicate electrics. Make sure that all electrical contacts that you can see, HT leads if you're not covering them, dipstick, and any other caps are pushed down tightly or done up so that no water is going to creep underneath them. I'm also stuffing the air intake with a plastic bag so no water can get in there and cause any damage later on. If this was a cone filter or an induction kit, I put the bag all the way over the top to keep the entire thing dry. Now the products I'll be using today. Starting with lift off, I'll go around the underside of the engine bay metalwork to get that looking clean and tidy with that before using some Engine Brite on absolutely everything. It's safe on paint and metal and plastic, and it will get the worst of the dirt off the block, off the inner wings. Anything really stubborn like tar from the road that's been flicked up into the engine bay that I can't move with the Engine Brite, I'll tackle with Tar Away, and finally I'll tidy up the black plastic and rubber with Replenish, and I'll be working the dirt out and the product in with this Atlaster brush. Also useful for doing alloy wheels, gets into any corner, and the stiff bristles are ideal for removing dirt without causing any damage. Now I'm going to start underneath the bonnet just with a quick rinse off. Now you'll notice I'm just using a regular garden hose, not a pressure washer. This is because although your engine is waterproof and the connections are waterproof as well, you don't want to be risking it by forcing high pressure water into any of these delicate or potentially delicate connections. Just to get the light grease and road dirt off the underside of the bonnet, I'm going to coat the paint gently with this lift off Citrus Blast traffic film eliminator. It'll just gently work its way into the underbonnet dirt. So this is nice and easy to clean off in a moment. It's also very useful for pre-cleaning when you're washing the outside of the car as well. And after just a few moments with a damp sponge or even just a hose pipe, and work that off. And rinse off. Don't soak the engine underneath if you don't have to. That now looks very nice indeed. And now to save yourself from being dripped in the back of the head while you do the next bit, get yourself a microfiber cloth and just give that a quick dry over. And already that looks good. Now we're going to do a similar treatment to the inner wings, the bulkhead and this slam panel here. Again, taking care not to directly hose electrical contacts. Now back to the sponge and hose pipe. I'm going to make a start with Engine Brite and the Atlaster brush. So spray it onto, in this case, the top of the engine. Take the brush and just work it into all the nooks and crannies until the dirt lifts, which happens very quickly actually. And you can take as long or as short a time over this as you want, because there are lots of little areas like the backs of pipes, junctions and connections. You can go to town on it if you want. This long handled brush is ideal for getting into areas like the back of this bracket on the power steering pump and underneath this moulding here. other areas like the electrical fuse box, the air box. As this is safe to use on metal, plastic, rubber and paint, you can squirt it pretty much anywhere you need to get it, work it in, and there won't be a problem. And like with the Citrus Blast, just rinse off. A little bit of water. And if there's any stubborn dirt in there, just keep on agitating. But for the most part, it just rinses away. Cleaning areas like the back of the headlights will actually make it more pleasant to change the light bulbs next time they need doing. Now, some of these areas are really gunked up with oil, road grease, who knows what else. And it's really satisfying to get in there and tackle that. And as before, we can just rinse it away. The areas like this strut top here and this bulkhead around the brake master cylinder are where you'll find the worst dirt. Oil, brake fluid, who knows what kind of road dirt, and it just sits there and bakes on over the years. This is 19 years it's taken to get this bad. So we're going to use Tar Away, which is tar and glue remover. I'll spray it on and it'll break it down as before, agitate it and rinse it off. Now come in with a damp sponge and just work it off. The last area I'm going to be cleaning is this little dead area behind the lights. It collects a lot of gunk, a lot of road dirt, flicks up from the wheels and sits in here. So I'm going to give it a good going over with Engine Brite and rinse it all off. Once again, this long handle and stiff bristles are absolutely invaluable for getting right into the most awkward corners. So with the engine now looking clean, degreased and generally nice, get yourself a nice, clean, dry microfiber. Just wipe it all dry. Ready for the next stage. Now the engine clean and dry, the finishing touch, all the plastic and rubbers, is replenish. There are two ways of using this. Either spray it on and leave it for a gloss finish, or as I prefer in this case, give it a light spray over and wipe it off for a nice matte sheen. Now for a finishing touch and to keep the paintwork under the bonnet protected and easier to clean next time, I'm going to go in with some Speedy Wax just to keep the red paint looking as good as it can for as long as it can. I am really happy with how this has come out. It's absolutely transformed this tired old engine bay from looking a bit grotty and just unloved into something that's absolutely stunning and really quite impressive. If I was putting this car up for sale today, this would really sell it to a prospective buyer. And if I was taking it to a car show, lifting the bonnet on this would certainly bring the crowds. It's only taken a couple of hours of work with these few Diamondbrite products and the transformation is astonishing.